Welcome again to another video of Wizardry Variants Daphne. First of all, big disclaimer, okay? This is going to be my opinion when it comes to who to pick. Um, this uh, this five character choice we got. All of these characters are good. However, I think that some of them get some priority over others. Simple as that, okay? We're gonna divide this video by two sections. The beginner friendly section and the min maxer kinda endgame section. So be aware of it. I'm gonna start with the beginner friendly section. Let's assume that you don't have anyone here. Let's assume this is a fresh account. Who would you like to pick of these five characters? Okay, you got five choices. First of all, which of them will be like the number one priority of all these five? In my opinion, I think Albanius is the best one. Albanius, because she starts as a fighter, she has a good skill that lets you do cheap damage at the beginning of the waves, and also in the long run, it helps to farm on auto. So, pretty good character, okay? Also, she's a good alignment, which means she has direct synergy with Lanabil passive, which is another standard character you get almost for free at the beginning if you either roll her or you pick her from the selector bone. So it's great. Amazing synergy, you're done with that. However, let's assume you don't like her for whatever reason. Who is the second best? In my opinion, it will be this guy. He's a thief. He has an amazing skill set for a thief. Amazing passive and as all that. The only downside is maybe you don't like his design, or maybe you don't like his voice, whatever. But when it comes to being a thief, he's good. Okay, he's amazing. He does one job and he does it pretty well. I'm not taking into account class change yet because this is assuming you are starting the game. Okay, thieves at the beginning are pretty good. You can use bows with them. You can use um, almost every weapon, almost. But they're gonna be mainly there for opening chests and not get punished. Then again, anyone almost can open a chest at the beginning of the game, so take that in mind. They're decent for doing damage, but not like a must-have. Now, moving on to the next characters. After those two, who is the next that you should choose? Well, I will go with Geralt. Why this dude? Because he's good alignment. He synergizes with Lanabil in case that you pick her. He's a knight. Knights are decent at the beginning of the game. They're still good at the end, by the way. But why he's like the third priority? Mainly because he's a knight. He starts as a knight. You can change him later into fighter, but at the beginning he's gonna be redundant with Lana. They're both not gonna do as lot of damage. They're gonna be tanking hits, and that's essentially all he's gonna do. Maybe stun some enemies every once in a while thanks to his exclusive skill, but again, not that big of a deal in my opinion. Like only because he's redundant with Anavil. He's still decent character, by the way. The stun is good. It's a clutch. Now, after these three, who would you pick? It's either no, there is not either. This is a very straightforward choice. You go with Redbird. Now, when it comes to this dude, why he's like almost my last pick? Mainly because he's redundant with Alice. Let's assume you want to build that evil party. At the beginning, he's gonna be a priest, and if you pick Alice, you're gonna have both priests in your team, and you don't want two priests at the beginning. It's like too passive. You want a thief that deals damage with a bow, a mage, and a priest, mainly at the beginning. So having two priests is gonna be like it's gonna be kind of slow. But he has an amazing endgame potential, but that's gonna be for the later part of the video. So there is that. After these four, why is Adam at the very bottom of the priority list? Well, simply because he's just another version of Adam. He's another version of himself. You can pull Adam at any point in the game. Hell, you can even pick him at the beginning if you like him that much. So just having like a slightly different passive and a slightly different ability is not that big of a deal, okay? And spoilers, this is the same thing for the end game section of the video. He's the last priority. I will never pick a skin like a glorified skin over a new character. Straight up. You're used to that because of other gachas, right? But in this case, it's almost the same. The class change is the same. The element stays the same. So yeah, he is the bottom pick on both sections of the video, straight up. If you like Adam a lot, though, you can pick him, but he's the least one, the least preferred in my opinion. Now, starting with the second section of the video, the min maxer, the end game, the mid game, whatever you want. Let's assume you don't have anybody here. Okay, let's assume you don't have anyone here. Assuming you don't have anyone, I still think that Albenius and Redbird are the best because they both have really good inherits that you can give to your characters. In case of Redbird, you can give this inherit to Alice, and she's gonna buff attack and extend that buff, and that's really strong, especially in the late game when you can abuse this, stacking attack buffs with attack buffs and defense buffs with other defense buffs and nuke for tons of damage. This is really strong in the late game. But let's say you don't want to inherit. He's still good as a standalone unit because I think he changes class to either fighter or knight. I don't remember which of them, but in any case, it's still a W, still a win because he's a dwarf. He has direct synergy with these two jobs, so it's still good. Okay, and he has a good buff on top of that. Amazing, straight up, just good. There is no losing here. Either if you want him because he's a new character and he works, or you want for inherit, he's still good. Now after that, I will go with Abenius. Why Abenius? Again, very good class change. He changes to priest, which makes her way more flexible than a lot of other characters in the game, a lot of other fighters, just because she can cleanse the buffs, she can buff, and she can heal every once in a while. You're not gonna be using her for healing, but you never know when you're gonna get poisoned or cursed or stoned or whatever, and you don't want to use the MP of your actual mages and priests, so you use hers instead because you never use it anyways in the battles most of the time. So there is that. And her passive help helps to farm in the end game with auto setups. Simple as that. Not only that, but her inherit skill can work with really funny setups like giving her to a ninja, giving her to another fighter to do like funny first turn kill stuff. I have seen ninjas killing enemies and combo together that with the follow ups and crits, and it's a lot of nonsense that I have seen with this inherit. So yeah, I will pick this one if not the Redbird. After this, it's pick your poison. Like I think they're all equally whatever to me. Like in the case of Thunder Smiter, the stun I think is not worth it to inherit to someone else, in my opinion. Sure, the stun is good for like the dragon in the collaboration dungeon, but you can have like an item, like a consumable item to stun. You don't really need to pick him for the stun when it comes to inherits, right? And now when it comes to a class change, he becomes a knight, and knights are really good at the end game too, because they're essentially the reason why you don't explode and get nuked. In my opinion, he's not that big of a game changer, anyways. After him, uh, the dwarf guy, Alric. This guy is fine, okay? This guy is fine. The problem is that his inherit skill is not really like that big of a deal. It only increases like disarm and detection and I don't know what else. Like, it's fine, but do you really want to pick this guy as an inherit? I don't think so, man. When it comes to the character itself, is good. The problem is that he's a thief. So thieves in the end game is essentially your like chest bots. You have them in your team to open chests, and you don't need more than one. I personally use Viviana. She's not even a legendary adventurer, and she opens the chest for me. I don't need a legendary character to do that. Okay, like, and when it comes to damage, thieves also can get outclassed by other classes like samurais and ninjas. Just not like they're not bad, but like, would you really pick him over others? Is up to you. In my opinion, it's not that really that great in comparison to the other ones. Now, after that, again, Adam. You pick him because you're a huge simp of Adam. That's essentially the only reason why you ever pull this guy here. And yeah, he looks majestic. Look at this face, man. He's like, pick me, bro. Pick me or you're not based. But I'm not gonna do it because I'm not based. Anyways, this is essentially it. Pick your poison here. None of these characters are bad. If you really do not want to think too much about it, and you're like a waifu enjoyer, there's essentially just one waifu in this selection, so this is easy. If you're a husbando enjoyer, you got four of them, so good luck deciding which of them. I still think that Redbird is the best, but hey, to each their own. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and let me know what you think in the comment sections. Goodbye.